Hello, my friends. Let's begin with the front line, starting with the Pokrovsk direction, where Russian forces are gradually advancing toward Pokrovsk and expanding their positions to encircle the city. Recently, they managed to reach closer to the village of Kotliny, worsen the situation in Pishane. Meanwhile, the Russians are assaulting Novosilka, occasionally breaking through to the outskirts of Pokrovsk. Intense fighting continues in the villages of Zelene, Dachinska, Lysivka, and Promень. Further south, battles rage near Novyi and following a recent breakthrough, the Russians are now storming Ukrainka and pushing toward the village of Yasenove. While no significant changes have been reported yet, Russian forces are making daily advances in this area. In the Kurakhove direction, Russian forces are also experiencing continued success. The situation here is catastrophic as they're making moves to encircle Ukrainian troops. Heavy assaults are underway in Dachne, accompanied by shelling. Similarly, fighting continues for Kurakhove, with Russian forces advancing across the fields from Konstantinopolsk. They are also storming Rozliv and Bogatyr with simultaneous movements from the north toward a meeting point. In addition, the Russians are pushing through the fields toward Andriivka, now just 4 kilometers and 700 meters away. The battles are ongoing, and Russian activity in the area shows no signs of slowing down. In the direction of Velyka Novosilka, there is some very good news today. The Ukrainian forces successfully pushed Russian forces out of the village of Novyi Komar, forcing them back by 2 kilometers 400 meters. This has slightly improved the situation for Velyka Novosilka, which is no longer in a summer encirclement. However, Russian troops are attempting a direct breakthrough into the city and are working to fortify their positions there. They are also assaulting Vremivka, and reports suggest that they have gained full control over the village of Storozheve. So, although Ukrainian officials have yet to confirm this information, meanwhile, the assaults on Novosilka continue, but there have been no further advancements by the Russians. Ukrainian soldiers describe the situation as follows. That's all you need to know, dear ones. The situation is tough right now, and as my comrades say, the command doesn't know what to do or how to get out of this mess. Additionally, today there were Russian advances on Storozhove along the western bank of the Mokriya River. Our guys managed to destroy their equipment, but their infantry remains in the northern part of Storozhove and the surrounding heights of Babya Hora. I've also heard that the Russians are now in the southern part of Makarivka and partially controlling it. Stay tuned for updates from high up. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, Russian forces are assaulting Novoandriivka amid ongoing shelling. However, the situation remains stable here for now, with no significant activity or new offensives from the Ukrainian side. In the Kherson direction, Russian forces continue expanding their controlled territory around Antonivka and are attempting to advance toward Kherson. Their goal appears to be easing a potential crossing of the river directly into the city. Meanwhile, they persist in trying to occupy islands near Hola Prystan. However, there have been no new successes or changes over the past 24 hours. In the Toretsk direction, Russian forces aim to advance quickly toward Konstantinivka. They are using substantial reserves in an effort to move closer to Toretsk. Intense fighting is ongoing near Sukha Balka, and battles are reported around the village of Druzhba. Additionally, Russian troops continue shelling frontline areas, but despite these efforts, no new gains have been recorded and the front line remains unchanged. In the Chasiv Yar direction, Russian forces are conducting assaults near Stupochki and advancing toward Chasiv Yar. However, they have yet to achieve significant success as Ukrainian forces continue to repel all attacks effectively. In the Siversk direction, Russian activity has sharply increased, with assaults underway in 7 directions simultaneously. This level of intensity hasn't been seen in some time. Fighting is ongoing near Serebryanka, Grigorivka, Bilogorivka, and in the areas of Verkhnyokamyansk, Ivano-Daryevka, Vyemka, and Vasyukivka. Despite the heightened activity, no changes in the front line have been recorded and battles continue. In the Lyman direction, Russian forces have achieved gains by capturing the village of Terny. They have also advanced toward Ivanivka, where activity assaults are ongoing. Additionally, fighting continues in the Serebryanka forest, where the gradual Russian advances toward Lyman, albeit at a very slow pace. In the Borova direction, Russian forces have also begun to advance. They claim to have fully captured Lozova, but the Ukrainian side confirms that only part of the village is under Russian control. Nonetheless, progress of 1 kilometer and 600 meters has been verified, and Russian forces continue their push forward. Elsewhere, assaults persist near Zaporizhzhia, Nova Krugliakivka, and the village of Zeleny High. Further south, attacks are ongoing in Novosergiyevka, Druzhilubivka, and Grekivka. From the village of Makiyevka, Russian forces are attempting to advance across the fields, though no new changes have been recorded in this area. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian forces are conducting assaults on Kucherivka and advancing across the fields from Stepova Novoselivka. However, there have been no recorded changes along the front line in this area. In the Kharkiv direction, Russian forces continue to display significant activity. Following a recent breakthrough, they began assaulting Hoptivka, advancing near Alisivka, and launching attacks on Gleboka. The situation remains difficult, but the Ukrainian forces have managed to repel these new attacks, and no changes in the front line have been observed over the past day. Around Vovchansk, Russian forces continue assaults on Staritsa, with reports of fighting near Buhrovatka. However, there are no changes along the front line in this sector either. In the Kursk direction, Russian and North Korean forces have achieved notable successes. They managed to cut off a salient advancing 6 kilometers and 200 meters, which resulted in the capture of the village of Kremanne and the surrounding fields. They also advanced 2 kilometers and 900 meters near Makhnovka, with a total width of 7.5 kilometers gained in this push. So this large section of the front line is now under Russian control, bringing them closer to Sudzha. Despite the Ukrainian forces inflicting significant losses on the advancing forces, the Russians are gradually breaching Ukrainian defenses and reclaiming territory. And that's all from me. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.